Your 8 practices in, as far as the quarterbacks are concerned, what have you seen from not just Shea, but Jordan and Alex and the other guys too, in terms of retention and things like that?
Well, the top 3 guys are getting all the reps. Shea's been Shea. Shea has, impressively to me, just every day he gets 24 hours better. And that's all I can ask of him right now. And the other challenge with him is just to stay within the offense and and I've said this 100 times, but let his athletic ability be the asset at the end of a bad play instead of him trying to do it all himself. And I think he's done that, and I'm happy with his progress so far. And then Jordan actually started off slow this camp, much like he did this spring, but he's doing the same thing he did in the spring. He's kind of pushed himself through a tough spot, and he did some nice things today, so I was pleased about that.
You expect to have Jordan Wilkins back soon? Do you know where that stands?
Yeah, it's interesting how quickly things get blown up. Jordan's fine. He probably could have run around today. We're just going to rest him a little bit and be smart with him. And I think there's some other backs we want to try and develop, so we're going to use the extra reps right now. It's an advantage for us to get those other guys in and take a look. We kind of know what Jordan's capable of right now.
What do you think of Devon today and the others?
Penniman?
Yeah.
He's deceiving, and he's so big and so physical, but he plays with such low pad level. He's definitely a step ahead of where he was in the spring. And, the running backs as a whole, Coach Nix has done a fantastic job because it's a little bit more challenging mentally, maybe, the running backs because they're involved in every aspect of the offense. And so I think that kind of handicapped them in the spring, but we're not seeing that right now. So mentally, we're not handicapped at running back, and those guys are able to just go play, and we're getting closer to that instinctive level that I keep talking about.
What's Greg Little's status?
Greg Little?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be out a couple days. He'll be back. He's fine. He just dinged himself a little bit, and I think right now at this time we feel pretty good where we are with the ones, and so we're probably going to be a little more conservative with the guys that are in the starting lineup.
And that was concussion protocol? Or?
You know what? I'd have to ask Pat because I don't know if they declared it a concussion or not. But I do know that he's going to be out for a few days.
What about Van Jefferson?
Van had just a minor surgery in the summer. He's actually ahead of rehab schedule. And I know he's going to start moving around here soon. And the plan is he should be ready to go for the opener.
Talk about your offensive progress, not just quarterbacks, but overall. Are you happy where you are now, 8 practices in?
Well, I think the thing that I had, not the biggest concern with, but the thing that I really wanted to see the most was, were we going to pick up here in summer camp where we left off in the spring? We finished at a good place. We had, X 1, 2, and 3 that we wanted to get done in the spring, and we did that stuff. And we did. We picked up in August where I wanted to, and I think we're progressing. Today was an interesting day because we were tired. We were a little sluggish to go and going into the red zone period. And I thought a lot of our guys responded. We're actually going to grade them on how they reacted today, to a hot practice, a long practice, a tiring practice. And we're going to see how they responded to, that kind of adversity.
How are they dealing with the tempo that your guys are going up?
Tempo's fine. I mean, that really isn't that's always the emphasis. That's kind of where we start, but we're not really coaching tempo anymore. They're in the tempo. Right now we're really focusing in on trying to play fast without any mental mistakes. And that's easy when things go well, and that's easy when we're fresh. And when it gets tough is when you're playing in tempo and you got to lock in mentally, and you're fatigued. And so that's what we're challenging with right now is playing through it, be smart while we're tired.
How many offensive linemen do you expect to play in a game? What might that rotation look like?
That's always dictated by how many we think are capable of playing where they can help us. We're not going to play a guy just to say we're playing 10 guys. I think right now, Coach Luke and Coach Bicknell would tell you we've got 8 guys that we feel good with right now. And there's a 9th and a 10th that are developing. We've had that conversation with them. But I'd say in a game you would see 8 linemen if we played tomorrow.
Is there one group that's further along than the rest, or maybe not so far along?
I don't know if I'd say one group is further along. I would tell you that the running back group overall is the most improved group. Not because of lack of effort. I just think mentally they were a little slowed in the spring, and I think they're beyond that learning curve now. And so we're getting to see some of the talent. We get to see some of them play and play instinctively. And so it's a talented group, and they're making plays here at camp. The other group that has really, and it's a credit to Coach Peeler. The receivers are just way ahead of where they were in the spring, so I'm thrilled about that as well.
So what of that running back group, who would you be comfortable playing in a game right now?
Oh, that's probably a tough call right now because it's a tight race. I mean, Jordan Wilkins is the true starter. Swinney has had some great days, and he looks really good. Sometimes when you have time off like that, you have some fresh legs, and he looks like he does. Penniman's having a good camp. I know Coach Nix has been really impressed with some of the things that Buford's doing. So, Brasley is our speed guy. So right now, it's it's a tough race. I'm not sure what our top 2 or 3 rotation would be going into opening day yet.
So what have you thought about the running game in general through the first week or so?
You look at practice and you want to judge the running game on how many explosive runs, longer runs that we have, and we've had some of those, and we've been pleased about that. But what we do is we go back in and we break down each run, and we want to know how efficient is it. It's like you carry the ball 10 times on power, and you gain 100 yards in a game. Well, 10 reps for 100 yards sounds pretty good, but one of them went for 90, and the other 9 went for 10. And so what we want to do is be efficient, and I think we have some work to do in the run game. We want to finish blocks better. But as far as playing north-south and being downhill, I like where the running backs are.
In your mind, what has Dawson Knox done to kind of elevate himself to the top of the tight end group?
The tight end group is just a blue-collar, hard-working group, and they kind of push each other. The difference with Dawson and the rest of them is he's just so freakishly big, and he has a great combination of physicality and speed. And so, he's kind of a rare – everybody likes those hybrid-type kids, but they're hard to find, and, fortunately for us, we have one.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, fellas. Y'all have a good one.
Too bad.